Whoa, now what's happening with the world? It's your man's and them, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video on the Bamboozle Again News Network. And sometimes I don't even feel like talking, yeah. Because my brain just be, just taking in all this information, yeah. And and I feel like I need a detox from Babylon. Because I'm alright, though, but it's just, when I just hear about the chicanery, it just, like, this is what it's come to, like, and I understand the spiritual context and all that. But god darn, Joe. It's like walking amongst the living dead, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like and this was reported on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the Non-God Donkey today, right? So last week, a couple weeks ago, had a Maryland activist who was gunned down, right? Very beloved, right? In Prince George's County, for those that don't know, maybe a suburb outside of D.C., right? So in my mind, I'm thinking he got into it with hot-headed youngin and whatever, right? So come to discover, uh, him and the community activist guy and this individual had, I guess, an argument inside of, I guess, a lounge. Uh, then when they went outside, my man was unalive, right? But I'm thinking it's a hothead youngin or some opportunistic crime or something like that, right? Come to find out, the dude that did it is a special police officer in D.C. And not only that, who was, legally licensed to carry and all that. Not only that, this Yankee bragged about it on social media. So, of course, he in jail, no bond and all that. But this is how the police act. Like, and I've been come to this awareness, right? You can have a professional title, but not be professional or operate with any level of decorum that you would think the attachment to your profession would symbolize, right? We got, I've seen doctors, ain't no, like Martin said, I like my woman classy, not showing all the assy, you know what I mean? So you can meet a woman and then, say her whatever, whatever. And then she'd be like, well, I'm a doctor. But the way she looked or how she's dressed and presenting herself, that you wouldn't think she was no doctor. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where to go with this, bro. It just again, the world is worlding on me today. And I'm alright, you know what I'm saying? And I despise bamboozle. And maybe it's triggering from all the years I got bamboozled around all these pump fakers and all that. So I'll be feeling the need to call it out, right? Or to get jiggy with them. And now my man Blue Hundo say let them cap in peace. And I understand all that. But if don't nobody call them out on the cap, ain't they gonna keep doing it, yo? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the internal struggles I be having. None of this affect me personally. But it's like I'm on some spiritual vigilante campaign to root out bamboozlers. You know what I'm saying? So I got my man Blue Hundo sends me I guess a post of a dude that we know from treatment in Baltimore who's actually from the county I grew up in, right? But I don't personally know him until I met him in treatment, right? So he had said this about back to some more DC news. The drug kingpin Rayful Edmonds has passed away at 60 years old. And then I was thinking, I'm like, yo, this life is precious, yo. So I'm figuring, okay, I don't know exactly how old he was, but he was making all this money and do. You know what I'm saying? He, had afforded whatever luxuries this life has to offer, right? Then you do like 30 some years in prison, rat, got a terrible reputation, whatever. You come home, and then within maybe a month or two of you coming home, now you're no longer on earth, and that's it. And that's your legacy. That's why I be fighting so hard under the authority of the Most High to just fight to be a better man, fight to leave something behind, even if it's intellectual properties or wisdom or maybe tangible assets, like how you used to do land and pass that down on, you know what I'm saying? Like that was life. Was it all worth it? When the most, like your kids, growing up without you and all this other kind of crazy stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, but my classmate has said now he's blocked me because I was just about to flame him up. So his spidey sense must got tingling, right? So he posted this about Rayford Edmonds saying everyone's sad like he was some stand-up dude. But this is the same individual, right, who told on my classmate, we in the same grade, he is literally and currently in the federal correctional system right now because this dude told on him. And not only that, he's in a relationship with his mama. This the same dude. Now, mind you, like I grew up outside of the town. So people, if I wasn't in your circle or whatever, you might not know who I am, right? So if people don't, and we're from the same county and we don't know each other, then I'll just describe my family and be like, oh, that's who we attached to. Because I think now my uncle, and my cousin has it now, her barbershop beauty salon is actually the oldest black business in Talbot County here in Maryland, right? So if I describe like, oh, that's who we related to, woo woo. So I was physically present for a lot of stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? And then my senior year, I had to go to school across the bridge and all that good stuff, right? So he's like, he'll say, we stand up God, that old fake bully coon, gangsterism, whatever. So he made a post about it one day, right? So he's like, yeah, all I know is stand up guys from this particular town, whoop de whoop. I said, cuz, name one. Cuz all the people I know all told on each other. He never responded. So then my man sent me the joint like, yeah, I see that, woo de woo. I'm like, man, this is crazy, yo. Why can't we just keep it real in the battlefield, yo? It's a whole lot easier. But everybody is living in this delusion and this fake image that don't apply. Like everything is done around here, Joe. Everything. Even if you look at the rap game, I could go down the list of Busta Rhymes, Diddy, Jigga Man, Birdman kissing Lil Wayne in the mouth, and we gave that a pass. Eminem, what was they doing? Was it a Super Bowl jump when Main Man flew in from the sky with his cheeks out and landed right in Eminem's face? You can't tell me there ain't no staged event. You know what I'm saying? Young Buck with all the what they call them, transmissions, transgenitals, and it's like everybody I used to listen to and rap, sweet, yo. Biggie with these suspect lines and, you know what I'm saying? All this for money, yo. You know what I'm saying? Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad. And again, it ain't got nothing to do, it don't affect me. It's just observatively looking at the society and culture in which I must navigate. And that's why I think my spirit would be like, I don't have a conscious mind why I want to do this or be around this, be around that. Other than my spirit is rejecting this foolishness, yo. You know what I'm saying? All this honor, loyalty, integrity, those are just talking points. But more oftentimes than not in application, wherever you may be at, you don't see a whole lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was back in school, right before I got, basically exiled out the town, right? Just like Jigga Man, where this particular incident, I got in an accident with a drunk driver. The summer before my senior year. So when Main Man hop out the car, I can see he's plastered. So I started beating him up. I'm like, man. So at that time, I used to have to take anger management. So they say you're in a situation, you want to just walk away. So I did that. So make a long story short, stuff happens, whatever. So I wasn't necessarily wrong in that particular instance, but because I had strung up so many instances, this one was just a straw that broke the camel back, even though I ain't do nothing. So, you got to go live with your father, right? Cool, boom, right? But prior to that, there was going to be a significant, like my senior year, was going to be a significant drop off in talent. You know what I'm saying? Now the town I live in now, we're arch rival, like Duke in North Carolina, right? So I was actually being courted to play over here because, under the incentive of, we could win a state championship, right? And I thought about it, but I wouldn't been able to actually do it because to me, that'd been like, now we're arch rivals, right? That'd been like me or like Luke Skywalker going and joining the dark side, for his own personal benefit. I'm type of Negro, I bang with the folk I come in with. You know what I'm saying? Now, how am I come over here, put on some different colored jersey, and then play against the people for my own personal benefit that I grew up with all my life? That's what I'm noticing too. All this click hopping and ship jumping and all that. I thought you supposed to go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm more often, especially in this urban culture or whatever, and the spiritual is bleeding over and other stuff, and we see it on social media, where you can see brothers and they be cool, whatever, whatever. And for whatever the particular reason or opportunity presents itself, you will see brother and sister do it too amongst each other with men and all that. They will X each other out for opportunity. Like they ain't known these people all their lives, yo. I got another homeboy, right? Now I just seen Jigga Mine basically dissing himself from Diddy, whatever that is. But if you notice, whenever somebody he running with, making money with, get in trouble, he act like he don't know him. So that reminds me of when I was talking to my homeboy, right? So I would ask him, because he kind of close to these people, right? So I'm asking him about these people, just asking about them, right? So he'll tell me, man, I don't fool with them people. And then I'll screenshot him a picture he posted with his arm around the same dude from 2 days prior. But you telling me you don't fool with him. When that happen? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm type Negro, right? If I do something, I just own up to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much easier. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of time in these social groupings, just like in the music industry, you might know they whatever they is, but you'll still stay attached to them for whatever benefit, or you'll drop some type of principle or morale for whatever the benefit of the personal attachment. But then when it come down the pike, now you want to say you don't know them. But then we got all this app, we got 30,000 pictures with you with the person you say you don't fool with and you don't know nothing about. This is at this current dispensation in time, these talking points of morality, integrity, so on and so forth, are greatly valued, and these things will save your life. So let's say you hypothetically in the streets and y'all gonna rob something, but you like, nah, man, I can't. And I couldn't never really be no robber, because I can't just take stuff from people because I ain't got it or because I ain't do right. So now I'm gonna take it from you. So robbing people was never really my thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's say like, nah, I ain't doing that. Oh, well, you scared or you this or you that, or like that West Coast movie where main man said, let me out the car, right? Then they go do something and you with them. There you is. And now everyone is telling on each other, yo. Like all that gangs, all these people coming home and all that, they're all informants. They've all informed. The street code is a myth now because there's no honor among thieves. That's why when you, like in the music industry, again, I correlated back to that. Everybody start distancing themselves or throwing each other under the bus or, you know what I'm saying, talking disparagingly of the individual who you was just shoulder to shoulder with. I think this isolation or that chosen was talking point, well, yeah, that is an aspect of it too, to draw you close to the Most High and so on and so forth. But it's also to keep you safe because what they say, bad company corrupt good manners. Like when I was at the old job, I felt like it was starting to affect my principles. So I'm finna leave because it affect my principles, it's gonna affect me. And now I'm no longer who I am now because again, I'm turning a blind eye or I'm accepting unacceptable stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still intact. I go through my various life as we all do, but I'm still me. I told myself when I was little, this world not gonna change me, yo. Granted, I do understand I'm very idealistic. So typically, and I've gotten better with it. So typically instead of, now I see it for what it is, but I tend to operate on the way it should be. You see what I'm saying? That's why I be vexed. Because in my mind, it shouldn't take this long for justice. I understand the wheels of justice turn slow. But an idealistic world in my mind, we all know this. Y'all keep coming up with these technicalities of we can't prove it, or saying the proof you garner isn't proof enough, or whatever the case may be. Justice shouldn't take this long. In my idealistic mind, I shouldn't have to fight for what's already mine. I shouldn't have to fight and come up with intellectual arguments to keep my child safe as her father. You see what I'm saying? In my idealistic mind, I shouldn't be able to be legally extorted through the Babylonian system that I'd halfway don't even want to be a part of anyway. You see what I'm saying? Just like, okay, I just went to court, what was that, yesterday, day before, whatever. My times be off and all that. So then I go down child support, let them know, whoop the whoop, clear and transparency, da-da-da. They advise me that I'm still gonna, now the payments won't be dispersed to the mother, but I still have to pay into the system pending the resolution of the court case, even though the child lived with me. So now I understand y'all just the enforcement arm and all that type of stuff like that, right? But I'm like, well, if I'm paying into a system, taking money out of my pocket to pay into a system that's not going to the parent, doesn't that kind of hinder my ability to financially take care of my child if I'm just putting money in a hole that I can't use for my child that live with me? And the only reason that is the case is because the mother is still attesting that the child lived with her and she still want payment. This is stuff you got to put up with. Now, on the north, like if I want to, I would just say, I'll fight but you can't fight. I mean, I guess you can, but you can't go to them people because they're just the enforcement arm. This is no different than the logic of the people or the Roman soldier who crucified Jesus. I'm just doing my job. Yeah, I know it's bad. But like I'm like, I went to these people, and essentially attempted to put fraud claims out there, right? Y'all are being defrauded, right? These people tell me, oh, you gotta call somebody else, and then it's a long process. How is it such a long process? I'm telling y'all being defrauded, and the people who are being reported to that fraud is being committed don't seem to be what's the word I'm looking for? They don't seem to be remotely concerned about the fact they're being defrauded. So who do you go to then? Just like with these various people who allege, essay and so on and so forth. A lot of times the people you report the crime to are in line with the people who commit the crimes. That's why the Epstein list ain't came out. Because if the Epstein list came out, it wouldn't be nobody on TV. It wouldn't be nobody make the law. Congress would probably be empty. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to figure. They got all the, surveillance. They said, now it's a joke, but they said it wasn't like the Army or the CIA, FBI, and then them people who actually found bin Laden. They actually put child support on the case, and they found bin Laden, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, child support, the United States Child Support Agency found bin Laden, right? But when it comes to holding people in power accountable, unless somebody else of equal power or attempting to gain power goes to war with them, you beat, And this ain't no complaining session. This has helped me be stoic and understand the reality in which I live in. That sometimes don't even seem real. You know what I'm saying? We got the government saying they don't know nothing about no drones. They can't figure out where they're coming from. But all them joints got IP. Like you gotta go through a whole bunch of steps just to get registered, go to class to fly drone, paper trail, digital trail and all that. But we don't know where all these drones coming from. And they darn sure don't know where the orb's coming from. It's amazing how people in leadership or people who have authority over a certain department don't okay, Army, where are these drones coming from? We don't know. You're the Army. It's your job to know. What are we paying you for? You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how people can just play dumb when they're in charge. I keep going back to these people. That's what another contributing factor as to why I left. The main man, the teacup head man say, oh, I don't know what's going on. You in charge. Isn't it part of that's like me having a company, but I don't know what's going on. Now, granted, it could be possible. But if I hear something disparaging about my company, let me start digging. Because the reputation of my company is on the line here. They don't care nothing about that. Or they just play dumb. You know what's going on. You just told me you don't. I noticed that too. When you say something simple and direct to someone, especially here in Babylon, now they can tell you about everybody else's business, but they can't tell you nothing about them. That shit crazy, yeah. That shit crazy, Mo. That's why I just don't, of us human beings, right? We do have, a component to our humanity is desire for, social belonging, grouping, and the security in such a, your tribe per se, right? But it's almost like the Nazi man, scientist man said, he came up with this scientific theory that said basically all human beings are biological machines. And under that premise or that belief, then through the right amount of propaganda, trauma, so on and so forth, you can program these people. They just programmed black men at an 80% clip to vote for a woman that was against their best interest. You see what I'm saying? And feel good about it and proud about it. That's another thing I'm saying. Tell them why you mad, son. Negro don't stand on nothing no more, yo. Yo, it's so crazy how Negro will play tough with other Negroes, right? But behind closed doors, they pander and simp and appease women who don't respect them and probably cheating on them. And the woman got all the power over you. But then you step out in the world and act like you the show. Now, my master sensei told me that one time. He said, now you, like say you in treatment, right? Or wherever, right? And you all got the dudes who play tough and da-da-da. He said they're actually overcompensating for their masculinity. Because it don't make no sense to play tough with people trying to get off drugs. Yo. That's crazy. I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? But they probably do that because when they go home, their wife and their kids talk to them like they ain't nothing. Or when they were buying drugs, the 15-year-old made him pick his dope up off the ground. So he feel like, nothing, but then he come in here and stick his chest out around people who are weak, sick, suffering, and hurting. Again, what I like to call King Poop on Turd Island tactic. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you get treated like old, you know what I'm saying, 304. You know what I mean? It's crazy, yo. But I'm chilling. It's just, it seems like once a week, my spirit has to do a reboot where I have to process this stuff to then expel it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm doing on this video. Again, ain't nothing happening to me. It just hurt my little eyeball, hurt my little heart just to see primarily what Negroes have become. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the spiritual, I understand all that. But you mean tell me these people brain don't work no more, yeah? You mean tell me in a little hopefulness on my heart that these people have become so reprobated, they actually believe their own lies, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to court, right? Had, the other party made a counterclaim. All right, cool. Don't care. So I'm reading the counterclaim because I got to answer it in court. And they're still alleging that the child lived with them. That's perjury right there. And then when I go to these various folk under the, civil and legal penalties or whatever, and I'm well versed with the system, right? Now somebody lying here, but y'all taking this woman's word for it. But if I'm lying, prove me to be a liar then. All you gotta do is come to my house. How long that gonna take? But won't nobody do it. You know what I'm saying? It's what I like to call your bluff tactic. Because if you don't, people will take you on a fantastic voyage of word salad that don't mean nothing. That's why I get straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call your bluff. So if I'm lying, here's what you can do to prove it then. But they won't do nothing. They just want to keep talking. Talk. No, man, I don't want to talk no more, yo. I want to do. And let the dude do the talking. You know what I'm saying? Man, the fake half-zesty, you say all this good stuff, but you never see him do none of it. If more oftentimes than not, he actually do the exact and complete opposite and still is able to bamboozle folks. And then when you point out the fact that he's bamboozling, the folk he bamboozling attack you. That, my brain don't like the idea of its intelligence being insulted, yeah? You know what I'm saying? I had to cut some homies off for insulting my intelligence. Or I tell them, hey, don't do this or whatever. And I don't know, maybe familiarity breeds contempt. But I don't know if they think I'm playing or what. Or they can't name a time where I said something and didn't do it, or I don't have no reputation of no bamboozle. So I say, hey, cuz, man, don't do this. And then they immediately turn around and do it. Ain't nothing to talk about. Boop. And then later on, they'll try to reach back. Nah, you playing, Joe. And then very, very seldom do they come back to you like, oh, well, this is what I did wrong, and detail it. And, like they letting you know, you know what I'm saying? Like they're owning up to their action. Anybody do that? All right, cuz, boom. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's all I want. Can't even get that. They want to act like you wrong for cutting them off. Because they playing with you. Yo, where's them at, yo? That's why it be this deep long and yo. how's it saying the word? The I'm paraphrasing. Being deprived of the lungs of your heart make the heart grow sick. I hear you. Ain't nobody, look, where I live at, from where I'm at with it in self-actualization, ain't nobody to mate with. You know what I'm saying? I know we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply, you understand? But what I'm going through with these court people and then the other part, it's almost dangerous to reproduce here. It's dangerous to do natural stuff. How is that even a thing, bro? You know what I mean? To be, just genuinely empathetic and helpful is actually dangerous unless you take wisdom with it. Because what they say, givers have to set limits because takers don't have none. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, even in the reference to the Remy Ma and Whoop the Whoop situation, right? Remy Ma and Papoose situation, she cheated on the man first and publicly embarrassed the man first with his rival in the same industry. Then when he eventually go get a younger model, now she blowing it. Now she turned his name up. You can't even leave the Jezebel unscathed if you get attached to him. Like with the other party, right? She was with this dude for like 5 years, right? Now, I think it's one of them Tyler Perry situations where he smashed a 17-year-old, didn't know about it. Her people found out and then got him jammed up that way, right? But she was with this dude for 5 years. So he leave her for another, I guess a woman that looked better, right? Then she went and reported that he hadn't registered as a sex offender and got him jammed up after he left her because she didn't care nothing about how he felt. So you just supposed to take this. And if you leave, I'm going to make your life hard. You can't, that's what demons do, ain't it? That's like, you in whatever practice you, or like gang culture. Like you just can't drop your flag and roll up like, all right, cuz, man, you good, boom. Nah, they going to try to do you greasy. You stuck in this. Even though it don't benefit you none. And if you try to leave, we going to hunt you down. That's almost symbolic to, when we got out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Now they say the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. And I pray he keep mine soft, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't get like bitter or whatever, right? But then they left. He gave them yeah, y'all can go. Then when y'all leave, wait, man, hold up. Man, go get them. I be seeing that a lot. Yo, I know homies like that. Where they be like, I remember years back, a young cat told me. We was working together. So he was like, he was dealing with an older woman, whatever. She bombed, whatever. Like, it's cool. But then he like, yo, let me help out or let me do something, yo. So he said he go get the job where me and him met at and working at and whatnot, right? And he said, yo, Kai is tripping. He said, I'm thinking she'd have been happy. We go through more issues now that I'm working than when I wasn't, and she had to take care of everything. Yeah, because she feel like she going to lose control over you. It's amazing how the modern woman wants dominance and control of a man when they'll say they don't want no man they can control. But routinely, in a predatory nature, go after men they can control based on, finances or wherever that man at with it. That's why all the women at the job will sleep with all them recovering addicts who had less than 60 days clean. Repeatedly. Control. But then if you tell her about herself in any way, you're controlling. Meanwhile, more oftentimes than not, she's out of control. Ain't nowhere. If you got any sense. Like I got the partner, right? His woman is doing 5 years in prison. She was using drugs and carrying the piss out of him when she was home on the street. Now he's breaking laws, selling drugs to take care of a woman who's in jail, who's running up debts, continue to do drugs locked up, and you still sending her money and you still answer her phone calls. Why? Just let's get to the crux of the matter. You don't think you can do any better. So you almost like a woman where I gravitate to the people who treat me how I really want, how I really feel like I'm treated for how I feel on the inside, yo. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is insane, Jack. And I'm looking, and this is my man. And I'm like, huh? I said, you could do that out here. They get about, and you can't get no box. But you still saying this, you are only supporting, she carried all the piss out you. Getting you wrapped up in prison politics on the street, and you barely surviving out here. But in his mind, he's thinking, if I do enough for her, if I love her long enough, she'll respect me. Nah, it's actually the opposite. She gonna carry the piss out you because she know you ain't going nowhere. So if you took all this bad treatment, you gonna take some more. And then if I hear you break off, I'll just make your life hard. Boy, I ain't never been around so many demons in human form in my life, folks. I got I got so many stories, I can't even remember all the stories, yo. You know what I'm saying? This is wild, Jack. And this, like I said, this is my man. Strong brother. I don't know if this one put root on him or whatever. And here's another thing. I'm just going on a tangent, you. Through SRBG, I saw a story and I looked up for myself where in Haiti, the gang got together and killed like what they believed, or unalive rather, like 200 people that they felt were practicing witchcraft. So and that's why I think the spiritual spells and all that type of stuff is being broken, or we're stepping into a new realm, right? Because if y'all practice witchcraft, how come the demons or whatever you were summoning didn't tell you these gang members are coming to unalive y'all? Like at the job, it's crazy. The main practitioner of tarot card flipping can't cast a love spell. Everybody else getting early recovery sauces but her. You feel me? And then I was like, one day we was having a philosophical debate, right? So she explained to me like how she got into it or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But then I'm like, yo, let's do this, yo. Let's put it to the test. Cause I'm one of them. Let's put this to the test. Now we gonna go in here and you gonna conjure up whatever spirit, but that spirit that conjured up don't never predict when main man gonna relapse, yo. So how powerful is it if it can't tell him there's some bad stuff gonna happen to him? And then on top of it, you can put them tarot cards and them crystals right there, and I put $20 worth of crack and see which one he picked. That will show you what has the real power, you. I'm in the power. I'm just talking now, you. I'm in the powerful, right? I think it was the Apologies of some Roman dude. I don't know why that's in there, right? And I remember hearing this in the story of Abraham where he like, they worship all these idols and stuff. But I think in reference to Abraham, the idol fell down and it broke. And he thinking like, but if this is a God and it's powerful, how come it can't fix itself, yo? Why am I putting all my faith in this? Or like when you read like Greek mythology and all this type of stuff here, where the gods committing incest with each other and getting jealous. What kind of God do that? And then what we worshiping? Corn and cats and all this. You know how to say in the word, reverence the creation rather than the creator. Anything but that. And I ain't no biblical scholar or nothing like that. But that don't even make no sense to me. Why am I worshiping that? What that gonna do? How is it a God if I can burn it up? And then that joint need my help to put it back together, yo. Boy, Beelzebub, hell of a drug, boy, cook, God of mercy. And I'm just looking like, it's crazy, yo. I got another story, and I'm gonna get up off here, right? So, my town is freaked out, right? So my neighbor, I guess she was in her senior year of high school. I see a little car pull up, they go play lacrosse and all that type of stuff. But one day I noticed my neighbor, the man of the home, he wasn't home, right? So I see the car pull up. Never seen the inhabitant of the car. Just always seen the car, whatever. So my man wasn't home. Man, I just happened to be leaving out, and I actually see the occupant of the car. It's a bulldog, and they go in the house. I said, oh, nah, cuz. Little shawty getting munched on already before she even get started, yo. Now, mind, I ain't gonna mess with the girl now, but it's just saying it though, knowing the reciprocal action where that's gonna lead. Now she's gonna question her sexuality or without some type of repentance. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is the average man mind, especially now, right, with red pill content or whatever case may be, yo. That's why a lot of brothers just don't take them seriously, yo. Because why would I marry a woman who been like more oftentimes than not here in Babylon, your woman's probably had a lesbian experience, yo. She's probably, I'll give you another one, right? I was in Baltimore, right? Now I'm in the cut smoking and drinking on the late night tip, right? But I can hear it's some youngins behind the building. And I tell who voice it is, right? So I'm like, oh, them people upstairs, woo, right? So I don't know what they back there doing. I'm just, in the cut doing me, right? And I hear the little girl say they couldn't have been no more, at best 14. The and you know, back in the day you had to kind of like trick them to do all this other type of wild stuff. Now they want it and asking for it. I heard the little girl back there say, "Well, you can hit me from the back, but I want your homeboy put in my mouth, yeah." She wanted to get tag team at 14, yeah. It's enough make nigga cry, yeah. But at what point? And these are just spiritual hypothetical questions, right? At what point do we heal, Joe? And how are we gonna heal in an environment that's causing the trauma? And on that note, I'ma holler at y'all. One love. Ooh, ah.